Om Sang Saraswati Namaha Namaste. Tonight we're going to talk about Shakti, about energy. And these are very, very, very fun forms of energy. Let's read the Sanskrit. We're on page 162, and this is the Ashta Shakti Puja, the worship of the 8 different forms of energy. Ugra Chanda tu Borada Madhyan Harsa Sambam Prabha Same Sadas tu Borada Tasmoim Nityam Namo Namaha Om Ring String Ugra Chandaya Ki Namaka Prachande Putra De Nityam Prachanda Gana Sangstite Sarvananda Kare Devi Tubhyam Nityam Namo Namaha Om Ring String Prachandaya Namaha Lakshmi Swang Sarvabhutanam Sarvabhuta Bhaya Pradam Devi Twang Sarvakaryeshu Purada Bhava Sarvada Om Ring Sring Chando Grayaki Namaha Yasidiriti Namnacha Devesha Boradayini Kolikam Ashanashaya Namami Chandanaikam Ring Sring Chandanaikai Namaha Devi Chandatmike Chandi Chandari Vijaya Prade Dharmartha Moksha De Devi Nityame Borata Baba Ring Sring Chandayaki Namaha Yasrishti Stiti Sanghara Gunatraya Samanvita Yapara Paramashaktish Chandavati Namo Namaha Om Ring Sring Chandavati Namaha Chandarupatmika Chanda Chandanayaka Naika Sarvasiddhi Pradadevi Tasya Nityam Namo Namaha Om Ring Sring Chandarupayaki Namaha Balarkaruna Nayana Sarvada Bhattavatsala Chanda Sarasya Matani Borada Tvati Chandika Ring Sring Ati Chandikaya Namaha Ugra Chanda Prachanda Cha Chandogra Chandanayika Chanda Chandavati Cheva Chandarupati Chandika Om Ring Sring Ashta Shakti Puja Namaha. Now, Chanda we've defined as passion. And now we're going to add passion to our worship. Because when we love, we want to love passionately. We don't want to love with detachment or with dispassion. We want to love passionately because that's the only way we focus our attention. When you're really in love with something or somebody, then you really pay attention to them. And when you love them passionately, it's a good passion. It's the passion that brings us closer to God. So here we say, let's read the translation. The 8 forms of passion as energies that propel us towards our goal. When you do something with conviction, you move forward. And that's just what this exercise is about. The terrible slayer of passion, giver of boons, who shines within the middle of the sun, may she or he always give to me boons, therefore I always bow and bow. O Maya, increase, I bow to the terrible slayer of passion. So here we are slaying the misdirected passion, the negative passions that take us to the world, the worldly passions. Whose nature removes passion, always give children, situated with the multitude of what precedes passion. O goddess, cause all bliss, I always bow to you and I bow to you. Om Ring, Om Maya, increase, I bow to she whose nature removes passion. So here again, we're talking about the lower passions that we are going to get, that are going to get us into trouble. You are Lakshmi, all existence. You grant freedom from fear to all existence. O goddess, you reside within all effects. Always give boons. O Maya, increase. I bow to she who slays passion. Her name brings perfection, and she is the supreme among the gods who grant boons. I bow down to she who destroys the iniquities of darkness, the leader of passion. So now we've taken all the negative passions and she's slain them, she's removed the energies, and now we've got a leader. She's going to lead our passion in the direction that we choose towards our goal. O goddess, to the soul of she who tears apart passion, she who tears apart thought, and she who conquers over passion, hey Durga, give me the boons of the ideal of perfection, the necessities for physical sustenance and liberation. Excuse me. O Maya, increase. I bow to she who conquers over passion. So she's leading this passion and she's conquering it and she's confining it towards the areas to which we wish to devote passionately. Hers are creation, preservation, and dissolution. The three qualities are equally present. She who is higher than the highest energy, to the spirit of passion, I bow, I bow. O Maya, increase, I bow to the spirit of passion. The form of the soul of passion. She who conquers over passion, the leader of the leaders of passion. O goddess, give all attainments of perfection. Therefore, always I bow, I bow. O Maya, increase, I bow to the form of passion. You have the strength of the sun and are always compassionate to devotees. The warrior of passion has a churning rod. Give boons, O you who tear apart extreme passion. O Maya, increase, I bow to you who tears apart extreme passion. The terrible slayer of passion, whose nature removes passion, she who slays passion, the leader of passion, she who conquers over passion, the spirit of passion, the form of passion, and she who tears apart extreme passion. I bow to the 8 forms of energy. Now, the expression of energy is passion. When you do something with conviction, when you do something with passionately, you are manifesting that energy in the most divine ways. So here she's taken away the negative passions. She's filled us with pure passions, or passion for the pure. And then she propels us to accomplish our goal. She leads our passion in the most constructive ways. Let's go on to the worship of the 9 planets. Japa kusuma sankasham kashyapayam mahadyutim tamuring sarapapagdam pranatuasmi dibakaram om ring ring suryaya namaha. Dadi Shankati Sharabam Shirodardabasambabam Namami Shashinam Somam Sambur Mukurta Bhushadam Om Eng Kling Shomaya Namaha Dharani Garbhasambudam Vidyudhanting Samaprabham Komaram Shakti Hastam Cha Tamangalam Pranamamyam Om Shring Mangalaya Namaha Priyankusha Kalika Kashyamam Rupena Pratimam Buddham Somyam Somya Gunopetam Tam Buddham Pranamam Yaham Om Eng String String Buddhaya Namaha. Devanam cha, Rishinam cha, Gurun Kanchana Sanibam, Buddhim Bhutam Trilokesham, Tam Namami Brihaspatim, Ankling Hum Brihaspataye Namaha. Hemakundam Rinalapam, Dvajanam Paramangurum, Sarvashastra Prabhaktaram, Bhargavam Pranamamyaham, Ring Shring Shukraya Namaham. Nilam Bucha Samabasam, Ravi Putram Yamagrajam, Chaya Martanda Sambutam, Tam Namami Priyashanishtaram, Eng Ring Sring Sanishtaraya Namah. Hardakayam Bhattabhakam, Chandraditya Bimardanam, Singika Garbhasambutam, Tamrakum Pranamamyam, Eng Ring Rabbe Namaha. Palasha Pushpa Sankasham, Taraka Gratmamastakam, Rodnam Rodratmakam Goram, Tam Ketum Pranamamyam, Ring Eng Ketabe Namah. Brahma Murari Striparantakari, Banu Sasi Bhumi Suto Buddhascha, Guruscha Sukrasani Rakuketabaha, Sarve Graha Sante Karabhavantu, Om Nava Graha Namaha. We're going to put all the planets in harmony. We're going to put all the astrological influences into our lives in the greatest harmony and peace, and appreciate their positive qualities. So here we begin with the sun. Om, crimson red like a hibiscus flower, the great light shines onto the earth, removing all the darkness and eradicating sin. And here Papaharan means also eradicating confusion and duality and duplicity. All of these are included in the concept of sin. We bow down with devotion to that shining light. Om, we bow to the sun, the light of wisdom, the dispeller of ignorance. So here the sun is reflective of the light of wisdom because he wakes all to knowledge. He illuminates and enkindles the light. Creamy white like a container of curds or yogurt, and most pleasing, the moon is born from the churning of the milk ocean. We bow down to the effulgent emblem of devotion, which is an ornament on the crown of Lord Shiva. Om, we bow to the moon, the emblem of the devotion. So if the sun is wisdom, the moon is devotion. Supporting the womb of all existence, Mars shines forth with the radiance of beauty enhanced by love. The sun, wielding energy in his hand, we bow down to Mars, bearer of welfare. Om, we bow down to Mars, bearer of welfare. His name itself is Mangal. His name itself defines the welfare that he blesses us with. He gives us strength, fortitude, courage, welfare, persistence. He gives us many divine qualities, and that is the blessing of welfare. Whose beloved body is dark like darkness, whose image is like the form of intelligence, whose qualities are most beautiful to that Mercury, emblem of intelligence, Budh. We bow down in devotion. Om, we bow down to Mercury, the emblem of intelligence. Budh has got nothing but buddhi. He exudes buddhi, that intellect, that intelligence. And he also excels in communication. So wherever you find Budh prominent in a hand or in a chart, you find great capacity of communication. The guru of the gods and also the rishis, who is the highest wealth, who is like the highest wealth, who is the most intelligent of all beings, to that Jupiter, Brihaspati, Guru of the gods, we bow down in devotion. Om, we bow down to the Guru of the gods. And he is actually the Shpati, the spirit of the Brihat, the vast. The spirit of the vast is the wisdom of the gods. And remember, Deva comes from Deep, to shine. The shining ones are illuminated by their preceptor, who is the spirit of the vast. He's very much akin to Sabarni. Sabarni, he who is with every color, caste, tribe. The spirit of the vast, he belongs to all. Like sandal and jasmine that have been crushed, the foremost guru of the forces of duality, who expounds all the scriptures, to that descendant of Bhrigu, we bow down in devotion. Oh, we bow down to Venus, the emblem of love and attachment. So now the Shukra, his name means pure, but his activity is the love of attachment. And he inspires the Asuras to be attached. So whereas the Devas are the forces of communion and unity, the Asuras are the forces of division and individuality. And while the Devas unite and make us to shine, the Asuras and their guru teach us to be attached to the individual forms of objects and relationships and the sansar. Both have a place in our lives. We have to be attached to the guru in order to progress. So the function of discrimination is to determine in what circumstances and to what degree, to what intensity do I want to cultivate that attachment. Shall I be a disciple of Shukra or a disciple of Brihaspati? In what circumstance is it appropriate for me to follow the teachings of Shukra? If I love my wife, I am a disciple of Shukra. If I love my guru, I'm a disciple of Brihaspati. All of these have their appropriate places. And discrimination will tell us when and to what extent. Looking like a blue cloud, the son of the sun, he is foremost of those who control. He can even put his shadow over the glorious sun, to that Saturn, emblem of control. We bow down in devotion. We bow down to Saturn, the emblem of control. And many people complain that Saturn is Shani Dosh. Saturn is putting obstacles and restrictions in my path. But were it not for Saturn, we wouldn't have any discipline. So if you look at his positive aspect, Saturn is extremely beneficent. He blesses us with the discipline by which we can free ourselves from attachments, from following the Asuras, from the attachments to the objects and relationships of this creation. He gives us that discipline, and we as sadhus are seeking freedom through discipline, and not freedom from discipline, as so many people would like to think. Our discipline will make us sadhus, and sadhu becomes efficient, and so efficient that we are freed through the discipline, not from the discipline. The great warrior divides even the sun and moon in half. He is born from the womb of Simhika. And we bow down to the devotion, in devotion to the north node, to Rahu. He commands direction. Om, we bow down to the north node who commands direction. So here Rahu even is pointing the way. And he's polarized. And he's saying you can go the way of the gods, or you can go the way of the Asuras. You can go the way of the sun, or you can go the way of darkness. You can go towards the light, or you can go away from it. Red, like a polish flower, who makes the starry-eyed constellation to sit. He is terrible and awesome to see, and we bow down in devotion to the south node, Ketu, who presents obstacles. Om, we bow down to the south node who presents obstacles, and we bow down to Rahu and Ketu, even though they demand us to move in directions and they put obstacles in our path. Hey, be our friends. Be nice to us. We're good sadhus. We have good intentions. Please, don't be mean to us. Be nice. And we'll treat you well. We're making an offering to you. We're remembering you with the highest respect and divinity and putting you amongst the gods. Why would you create obstacles for us? Free us from your obstacles. And be divine. And make us divine. Make us to shine with divinity. Deep. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva always contemplate the sun, the moon, earth, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, the north and south nodes. May all the constellations remain in peace. Om, we bow to the 9 planets. Now, these 9 planets, astrologically, they actually have effect in our lives. Philosophically, they have a very important place in our lives. Spiritually, in course of our sadhana, they have a very prominent place in our sadhana, and they are part of the Panchadevata Puja. And we accomplish the Panchadevata Puja very abbreviated form, in a very abbreviated form at the beginning by saying, Etek anda pushpe om shivadi panchadevatabhyo namaha. With one flower for you all, we recognize that there are 5 divisions of Hindu Dharma, whose primary deity is Shiva, whose primary deity is Shakti, whose primary deity is Vishnu, whose primary deity is Ganesh, and whose primary deity are the 9 planets. Now, individually, we worship them all. Be part of our entourage and be part of our roadmap. We want to have all the negative passions under control and led into, congregated into one form of, under the leadership of the ruler of passion, who's going to take us into the direction of extreme passion so that we love her so much. And then we put all of the houses and all the nakshatras and all the planets into harmony. And these 9 planet mantras can be used individually or as part of the cosmic puja. So either way, we get to harmonize ourselves with the entire cosmos. And that's what this cosmic puja is doing. It's harmonizing our individual vyakti, jivatma, the individual soul manifest in this persona with the supreme soul and all the deities, all the various directions, all the planets, all the stars, all the divine beings of the 3 worlds. We're coming into this harmony and union. Do we have any questions?
I have a question about you said if Mercury is prominent in your chart, then you will be good in communication.
Absolutely.
So in general, when we read our chart and we find that some planets are more prominent, how do we alter our behavior as sadhaks? Do we consider these issues when we construct our sadhana?
Absolutely. And we also consider these issues when we define our life path and our goals of life. So when we have a very strong sun, we have great wisdom, we have great focus, we pay attention, we love to study, we absorb knowledge and illuminate knowledge and inspire others. When we have a strong, prominent moon, we are filled with devotion and filled with an intensity of love, of expression of that devotion. So that our sun and our moon are working together, because you can't illuminate wisdom without devotion. And each of the other planets, when you have strong Mars, you have a great physical strength, you have a great propensity, a propelling energy. So that you have a fortitude to complete your sankalpa. And when you have a strong Mercury or a strong Budh, you'll be excellent in communication. You'll want to express in some way, or in every way possible that you can understand. You'll want to express your devotion, the strength of your devotion with wisdom. They're all coming into harmony, aren't they? And now we get the gurus of the gods that takes us to radiate divinity and to shine in unity. And the guru of the Asuras, who takes us to love with devotion each and every aspect to which we are attached. And to discriminate with the guidance of these two gurus, how much attachment shall I have to my world, and how much should I have to your world? And now we have Shani creates a discipline for ourselves. Rahu and Ketu we ask to be propitious to us and to harmonize and remove all the obstacles. And in this way, when we look at a chart, we can see which of those aspects are prominent and in which areas someone could excel. And those are the course of study or the sadhana that someone would follow to emphasize their strengths. So we would design the sadhana. Someone will be more prone towards study, someone more prone towards meditation, someone more prone to devotion, someone more prone to seva. Dhyan, Gyan, Bhakti, and Karma are the four types of activities which harmonize into yoga. Yoga is defined as chitta vritti nirod. The nirod, the prohibition, the cessation, the full stop of the vrittis, the modifications and changes in the chitta, the objects of consciousness. That is, we stop all changes in the modifications of consciousness, in the objects of our awareness. To put it simply, the mind sits still. And we can make the mind sit still through dhyan, paying attention. Gyan, knowing what we're doing. Bhakti, devotion to what we're doing. And karma, the activity itself. These are the 4 aspects of union. When we come into union, we will pay attention with devotion to the activity we perform with knowledge. These are not separate disciplines, but at any one point in time, we will have a propensity or a preponderance of one quality over the others. For example, right now, if you listen to our words, you might say that we have a preponderance of knowledge because we're talking words of knowledge. But there's activity going on. There is karma. There's a speaker and their listeners. The listeners are speaking with some degree of devotion, so there's bhakti present. And they're paying attention, more or less. So dhyan, gyan, bhakti, and karma are all 4 present. But right now we could say, and some people might suggest, this is an application of Gyan Yoga because we're speaking about knowledge. But that's only looking at it from one point of view. Because if you look at the other points of view, there's a harmony of all the activities. All 4 are present. In the same way, when we harmonize our planets in our discipline, all of them will be present. We will remove all the obstacles to our achieving our goal by following the discipline that we learn from the gurus. One guru is going to teach us to be efficient in the world, and the other guru is going to teach us to strive for the other worlds. And we will have the communication of knowledge with conviction and devotion and illumination. Brahma Muraris Chiprantakari Banusasi Bhumi Suto Buddhascha Gurustras Shukra Sani Raku Ketabaha Sarve Graha Shanti Karabhavantu. These are the 9 planets. They're all there. They're all in my chart. They're all in my life. I can't think to do anything without them. There's a harmony and they're working together. In the same way as dhyan, gyan, bhakti, and karma, meditation or paying attention, knowledge, devotion, and activity unite in every form of union. Wherever there's union, wherever there's yoga, there dhyan, gyan, bhakti, and karma are present. Wherever the chitta vritti has nirodh, there, wherever the thoughts, the changes and modifications of the objects of awareness have stopped, there is present a state of attention, there is present a state of devotion, there is present some activity which is being performed with knowledge. So that's how we look at the chart. That's how we look at the palm. That's how we look at the numerology. That's our basic interest in astrology, is how do we harmonize these influences in our lives? How do we harmonize and make a holistic spirituality rather than dividing them and saying, oh, he's under the influence of Rahu. She's Mangalik. These are very, very, very small ways of looking at it. The bigger picture gives us a vision of how the holistic spiritual cosmos is working together in harmony, and how can I be part of that harmony? And that's the objective in performing these pujas. Individually, I'm worshiping passion, I'm worshiping the negative forms of passion. Take them away, take the energy from the negative forms of passion and lead them to the positive. Put all the astrological influences in my life into harmony and balance, and show me the way. Are there other questions? Please.
Then are we physically putting these onto the yantra?
No. These are the flowers of the middle rows. They are the flowers of the middle rows. And if you look at the map, which is on our website, you will find we have already established the flowers of the front rows and the back rows, and now we've established then we established the yantra in the center and covered it with the flowers of the Sarvata Bhadra Mandala Devata, all the excellent deities of the circle of the goddess, the entourage, and now we are doing the middle rows and establishing these flowers in the middle. So that's how they will appear on the map. One flower for each deity. And when we recite the mantra, Om Eng Ring Rahabe Namaha, we bow to him and place the flower. Om Ring Eng Ketabe Namaha, we bow to him and place the flower. And in this way we establish 9 flowers on each side, the 8 Shaktis, and the Pranayam Mantra. I bow to you all. Ugra Chanda Prachanda Cha Chanda Ugra Chanda Naika Chanda Chanda Pati Chaiva Chanda Rupa Ati Chandika Om Ashta Shakti Puja Namaha. And that's the 9th flower. Or we establish the 9 flowers of the Nava Graha. And that's the Nava Graha Puja. So that when we complete our worship, we will have a complete picture drawn in flowers of the roadmap, the path by which we harmonized all the forces of nature, the forces of the cosmos, outside us, inside us. All of our passions have been brought up and led to a very noble goal. With conviction. Certainly not dispassionately. You don't pay attention dispassionately. Are there other questions?
How is this passion that you're talking about, does it relate in any way to Vyakulta?
Yes, very good. Very good. Vyakulata is a very good word for that kind of passion. Vyakulata will mean extreme need. Let me tell you a story. The disciple went to the Guru and said, Guruji, how can I see God? And the Guru said, take a bath. So the Guru and the disciple went down to the bank of the river, and they went in under the water, and they started to take a bath. And just as the disciple was coming up, the Guru held his head under the water until he was gasping for air. And his arms were flailing, and he thought he would choke. He was gasping for air. He was going to die. And then the guru pulled him up out of the water, and the disciple went, "Ugh!" And the guru said, "How did you feel?" And the disciple said, "I felt like I was going to die." And the guru said, "When you feel that way for God, then you are entitled to darshan. That's when you'll get your darshan." And that's vyakulata. That kind of passion. That kind of compelling necessity. That kind of compulsion where we have to. I don't get up in the morning and sing the chandi every day because I want to. I have to. It's my way of life. It's what I do. It's as natural as brushing my teeth. I just get up out of bed and the first thing I do is come to the temple and sing the chandi. It's not a choice. And we want to make those kinds of habits passionately. Good. I don't just sing the chandi. I sing the chandi passionately. And you sing with me, crazy people. And that's true. You're getting passionate as well, whether you like it or not. It's not a choice. There's this compelling necessity. It's a magnetism. It's an akarshan. It's this magnetic attracting energy that's just pulling us and say, you have to. You have to love purely, sincerely, completely. It's not enough that you gave at the office. You have to give from your heart. There's something that says it inside. And that's vyakulata. That compelling necessity that says, I want to do it. I have to do it. I will do it. These are not choices we're making. There's something inside that's saying passionate. So yes, that is vyakulata. And that's my definition of vyakulata. I don't know how Ramakrishna would define it, but he didn't try it in English. Lucky man. It's difficult, some of these terms, to define in English. But they are so expressive. So expressive. They have so much meaning. We just reach for the meaning. And that's the joy of studying Sanskrit. The efficacy of studying Sanskrit is that the dictionary meanings of the words aren't going to satisfy us. We have to continually reach for the experience. And we'll understand what the scripture is saying when we have the experience. And we'll have something to relate it to. And seeing as the experience is continually growing and ever increasing, you're really, in reality, the only one who understands it is Shiva. And to the extent that we have that experience of being Shiva, that's how much we understand the scripture. Because the path and the destination are defined by the same terms. So how do you measure infinity? It's just more and more, and it grows and it grows and it grows. And that's why it's such an exciting path. Because it doesn't end. It just continually grows and grows and grows. And as soon as you try to put limits on the borders and boundaries of infinity, you have to ask, what's on the other side? So there's a new exploration and a new meaning and a new dimension and a new intensity to the definitions that we're experiencing. And that's why Sanskrit is so magnificent. Because in English, you look up the word in the dictionary, and that's what it means to me. Like the word sweet. How sweet is it? Well, could you express in words? Could you define for me how sweet it is? How sweet it is. It's the same thing about meditation. It's the same thing about communion with God. How sweet it is. Go ahead. Try to define it. The definition will always fail. And we are running into the same problems here. Vyakulata. How intense is your longing? How passionately do you really want that? That's the definition of your desire. And when you want it, like you feel like you can't live without it, that's when we're entitled to darshan. Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.